from the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Rahul Gandhi is traveling abroad once again and he has a right to do so. He's talking in, all kinds of, American universities. He has a right to do so, but he must be careful about what he's talking about. And my suggestion is always this, and not just to Rahul Gandhi, if you don't know your facts, don't open your mouth. Don't pontificate. Don't try to pontificate when you don't know the ABC of a subject. One way of looking at the way Rahul Gandhi talks is that it's laughable. But then you see, he's become leader of the opposition. So he holds a constitutional position. And it is baffling that a person holding that position should speak in such an amateurish way. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Pitroda says Rahul Gandhi is not a pappu, he's a strategic thinker, but he admits that often it's difficult to understand him. On that last point, I agree with Sam Pitroda. Now, Rahul Gandhi's latest, he's made many points, including saying things like Islam is not an Indian religion, I'm told, etc. But I don't want to get into his views on spirituality and who is a god and who is not, and how a person becomes a devata, and the kind of pop spiritualism that has no depth and is best avoided. But I know people like Rahul Gandhi do it, that's his right, I don't want to talk about it. However, ladies and gentlemen, it is wrong, unethical and immoral for Rahul Gandhi to go to America and run down the Indian economy once again. And I'm not linking this to the fact that he has signed an agreement with the Chinese officially. God knows what's in the agreement, but we all know the pictures with the Chinese. And every time he travels abroad, he praises China and runs down India. Every single time. If Rahul Gandhi has an inferiority complex vis-a-vis the Chinese, that's his problem. We don't. We are growing. We are surpassing them. We're growing faster than them. Our economy is doing better than them. It is our time. So Rahul Gandhi, stop trying to run the country down. Now his latest point is that the state of China's economy is excellent. What are you talking about, Rahul Gandhi? The unemployment rate among Chinese youth has touched a record high of 21.3%. But according to Rahul Gandhi, there's no unemployment in China. Why are you lying, Rahul? The unemployment in youth aged 16 to 24, more than 1 in 5 are unemployed in China. But Rahul Gandhi says unemployment is not a problem in China. Who told you that? Uncle Sam Pitroda? In fact, in China, Rahul Gandhi, there has been the sharpest decline of late. FDI, and someone should tell Rahul Gandhi this. FDI has fallen by 28% year from January to May. These are the exact numbers in China. The state of China's manufacturing has dropped August to a 6-month low. I find it completely ridiculous that an individual who doesn't know these facts is going to America and embarrassing all of us by praising the Chinese, saying that their manufacturing, their economy, their unemployment, everything is fantastic. For Rahul Gandhi's China is always a dream. Well, we don't share that dream, Rahul. We dream the Bharat dream. And you should change your approach too. This constant pessimism, constantly trying to run down your country, saying we have to learn from America, saying things like you are a union of states, we are a union of states, not once saying that we are a proud nation, not once saying things like the Indian EV market is forecasted to expand to US 113 billion by 2029. If that is not manufacturing, what is, Rahul? And this manufacturing growth is not happened in a Congress regime. It has happened when the Gandhis are not in power, when the Congress is not in power. Acknowledge these facts. Go abroad, take pride. Don't play on pessimism. It's a short-term political strategy. Few people will laugh when you say ridiculous things like, I want a caste census in the Miss India competition, but afterwards people will come and say that you have no substance. Aerospace and defense manufacturing, we're targeting a turnover of 1.75 lakh by 2025. We're a defense exporter. Our mobile manufacturing, we are producing 97% of local demand. 30% of production in 2024 is for export. Apple is coming from China to India. They're pairing off a lot of their manufacturing and setting up base in large parts of India. The electronic manufacturing sector, we're doubling the number of jobs to 5 million in 5 years. These are the facts, Rahul. There is no point going among people who may know less than you and misleading them by singing praises of China and not accepting the fact that when you've been out of power, the country has unleashed its potential. When you're not in power, the bottlenecks are gone. When you're not in power, centrality of thinking is happening. Tough decisions are being taken. And therefore, Rahul, and to all those people who are the Congress supporters, I just want to say this. You have a right to support any political leader, but not at the cost of spreading lies against our nation. For when you do so repeatedly, you must understand you're crying wolf. And even those audiences whose affection and favor you are seeking will see through you. Ladies and gentlemen, debate one tonight. Rahul Gandhi's usual trick on foreign soil. That's debate one this evening. Debate number two this evening. Not a debate, but a discussion. But a very interesting Pandit Satish Sharma with me, who is a theologian, and he's fighting for Indians and the Hindu community in the United Kingdom, and he's coming up with what's going to be a very, very controversial counter-narrative, a documentary on the BBC. He's joining me at 8:30. Don't miss this one. At 9 o'clock tonight, viewers, we believe at Republic there's a conspiracy against the Indian Railways. There are multiple incidents of sabotage, and by the grace of the Lord Almighty, each time they have been exposed in the nick of time. But we need to talk about what is going on and who's trying to sabotage the Indian Railways and why. Is that part of the balkanized Target India effort? Is that an effort by the deep state of foreign countries? That's at 9 o'clock, and here are the headlines this Monday evening on the Debate Tonight.
India has an employment problem. But there are many countries in the world that don't really have an employment problem. China certainly doesn't have an employment problem. China is dominating global production.
Rahul Gandhi goes on and on praising China, attacking India, but he's got his facts wrong, his numbers wrong, and all over, people are beginning to really directly point out his multiple unacceptable contradictions about India on foreign soil. A cylinder tactically kept on a railway track, explosives found in a sweet box, petrol kept in a bottle, and matchsticks found near the tracks. The attempt to derail Prayagraj Bhiwani Kalindi Express is a clear conspiracy to malign the Indian Railways, target the Indian Railways. The Uttar Pradesh ATS has detained 10 suspects, and the terrorist angle remains the focal central point. We believe there is a mass design to sabotage the Indian Railways. In June 2023, you'll remember, viewers, the Balasore train derailment killed 293 people. It was the result of a pre-planned conspiracy. 10 cases of a similar kind of sabotage are now under the scanner of the ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, Rahul Gandhi is at it again. It has almost become a habit with Rahul Gandhi to demean the country all the time, viewers. During his ongoing visit to the US, Rahul Gandhi has unleashed another anti-India tirade, a very, very strong argument for China, always praising China, not only questioning India's growth, but also showing very, very, very strong, pronounced, and if I may say so, ladies and gentlemen, disturbingly pro-India sentiments. I wonder why Rahul does this vis-a-vis China. I do not want to link it to his signed agreement with the Chinese, but you take a look at this.
मोदी जी का भाषण सुनो, बब्बर शेर, जहां देखो इंटरनेट में देखो बब्बर शेर, और हम आपसे पूछ रहे हैं, बब्बर शेर दिखा दिया, हमें बताओ कितने रोजगार आपने हिंदुस्तान के युवाओं को दिए?
If you look today, China is dominating global production. You go to India, you look at the phones, you look at the furniture, you look at clothes, you'll see on the back, made in China.
Rahul Gandhi is back on foreign soil, spitting venom against India once again. And this time, in the United States, his narrative has taken a dangerous turn. Apart from being anti-India, he has also gone pro-China. While the world celebrates India's meteoric rise, Rahul Gandhi continues to wage his anti-Bharat crusade, undermining our nation's progress with every step he takes. In Dallas, Texas, once again, Rahul shamelessly questioned India's manufacturing strength, towing a pro-China line. He ridiculed India's trajectory, claiming we are on the wrong path.
The West has an employment problem. India has an employment problem. But there are many countries in the world that don't really have an employment problem. China certainly doesn't have an employment problem. And if you look today, China is dominating global production. You go to India, you look at the phones, you look at the furniture, you look at clothes, you'll see on the back, made in China.
Ironically, Gandhi's comments come 2 days after India beat China in terms of weightage in the global MSCI Emerging Markets Index, a parameter that shows resilience of the Indian economy. This when global giants like Apple and others are making India their manufacturing hub. Rahul mocks our nation's achievements even as top financial agencies recognize India's unparalleled growth story. Rahul Gandhi needs to wake up to the reality that India is now a global strategic power. The world knows it, but will he ever acknowledge it?
तो राहुल गांधी जी बाहर जाकर केवल भारत को बदनाम ना करें। जो दुनिया का विश्वास भारत में बना है, सैकड़ों नहीं हजारों लाखों करोड़ रुपए का निवेश भारत में आ रहा है। आज दुनिया में सबसे तेजी से बढ़ने वाली अर्थव्यवस्था भारत बनी है। मुझे लगता है शायद कुछ लोगों को पढ़ने लिखने की आदत कम है।
दिक्कत ये है इनकी कि ये सब दुनिया के सबसे बड़े ज्ञानी अपने आप को साबित करने के चक्कर में सबसे बड़े अज्ञानी साबित हो रहे हैं। सरकारों को जितना भी आप जो है कोसना है कोसिए, लेकिन देश के बारे में आप जिस तरह का कन्फ्यूज़न क्रिएट करने की कोशिश करते हैं, देश को कमज़ोर दिखाने की कोशिश करते हैं, ये अनएक्सेप्टेबल है, स्वीकार्य नहीं है।
But this isn't new. Time and again, Rahul Gandhi has denigrated India on international platforms. From claiming democracy is dying,
we're facing an attack on the basic structure of Indian democracy,
to calling for foreign intervention and insisting India is just a union of states and not a nation. Rahul Gandhi is a loose cannon, and it's time he's held accountable.
India is not described as a nation. In our constitution, the line is India, that is Bharat, is a union of states.
Will the Gandhi scion ever apologize? Will he back up his half-baked rhetoric with facts?
You know, we have a choice as well here at Republic. We can choose to ignore or correct. To a certain extent, you can ignore a person who doesn't know things and say we can't take him seriously. I mean, like, you know, of course, you can't take Rahul Gandhi seriously on economics. I don't know what economics he learnt at some Rollins College in Florida, what they teach there. But when you're discussing geopolitics and economics with the link between the two, you need to have your facts together. You cannot make vague generalizations. That's my starting point tonight. Kishore, you know, ignore or correct? What do you think?
Okay, so Arnab, thank you. Good evening to my panelists. Let me give you some valid points here. Okay, please don't interrupt me for 45 seconds. I want to make my points. Point number one: Vedanta's copper smelter plant, Tamil Nadu, Congress-led protest and opposition led to closure in 2018. Sterlite copper plant, Tamil Nadu, Congress-supported protest and political opposition led to plant's closure in 2018. Ultratech cement plant, Gujarat, Congress-led farmer protest and land acquisition issues delayed the project. Adani Mundra port expansion, Congress-led fishermen protest and environmental concerns. Jindal Steel Power, Chhattisgarh, Congress-led acquisition protest and environmental concerns. ArcelorMittal Steel Plant, Odisha, Congress-led acquisition protest and environmental concerns. POSCO Steel Plant, Odisha, Congress-led acquisition in 2017. Tata Motors, Gujarat Plant, Congress-led acquisition protest. Maruti Suzuki, Gujarat Plant, Congress-led acquisition protest. Foxconn manufacturing plant in Maharashtra.
Make the point first. Make the central point first.
Okay, this is the first point, that Congress is amazing in manufacturing, but they manufacture lies. The problem is Rahul Gandhi ji does not know the details. India has been the largest.
That is the basic problem. I think I tell you what, we cannot dignify this level of ignorance with a very, well-researched argument. There is a need to, but you don't need to pull your citations out. You must realize you're not dealing with Jeffrey Sachs. You are dealing here with Rahul Gandhi. So you have to, come down to that level and explain. Point here is, he has said today, and Santosh Mehrotra, please don't defend the indefensible at any cost, and please don't walk out of the show in protest if I ask a very, very sharp question. My question tonight is this, that as far as I know, the youth unemployment rate has exceeded 20% in China among 100 million youth between, this young age of their early 20s.
There is 7% in Haryana.
And 1 minute. The point to say, I think it's unpardonable to come and say that China does not have an unemployment problem. You can't do that even if you want to run down India. Professor Mehrotra.
Thank you, Professor Goswami. China has an unemployment problem. We know that. It's youth unemployment.
But Rahul Gandhi said there's none.
No, never mind that.
Why never mind? Why?
अच्छा facts चाहते हो कि नहीं चाहते हो? मैं बोलूं कि ना बोलूं?
नहीं बोलना है आपको, मगर राहुल गांधी ने गलत बोला ना.
अरे प्रोफेसर साहब मेहरबानी है, बड़ी मेहरबानी है. India's youth unemployment rate is 44%. You understand? Firstly. Secondly, FDI in China is falling, yes, but so is FDI in India falling. FDI in India, with all due respect, as a proportion of GDP, in any case, never exceeded 2% of GDP. In this entire 10-year period, in the UPA, it was more than 2%. Basic, foundational, two facts your listeners must know. Manufacturing contribution to gross value added in India fell from 17%, which it was for 25 years from 1992 to 2015, down to 13%, from 17 to 15 to 14 to 13. For next 5 years, it's only recovered back to the 17% in the last year. That means never in the history of India in the last 32 years, manufacturing contribution to GVA had fallen. Secondly, manufacturing contribution to employment actually fell. Talk was all about Make in India. You love talking about Foxconn, I'll come to that in a second. But do you know that in 2012, manufacturing employment in India was 60 million? 5 years later, it was 55 million, falling a year after this government came to power. It has only just recovered. To the 60 million.
But don't be angry that it has recovered. Be happy that it's recovered.
Labor-intensive manufacturing actually saw an absolute decline. That's why the joblessness is as high as it is. Yes, sir. That is the reason that for the last 4 years, the government, while it is pretending that it has created 8 crore jobs, 6 crore of those are in agriculture. The jobs are not being created in manufacturing.
Okay, so may I now, Dr. Mehrotra?
सर जी तो सुन लीजिए और
मैं सुन रहा हूँ डॉक्टर साहब, मैं बिल्कुल सुन रहा हूँ, क्योंकि आप you get angry, you walk out of the show, I want you to participate, but you don't hear me.
सुनाइए.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I just want to thank Dr. Santosh Mehrotra for saying that Rahul Gandhi is talking rubbish by saying there is no unemployment problem in China. At least you concede that point. I'm glad you've done that. Now, sir, let me say this to you, and before I open it up, you see, this, if one is determined to have a Raghuram Rajan view of the world, we must keep reminding ourselves that 1.5 years back, Raghuram Rajan and Rahul Gandhi sat on a rooftop. And Raghuram Rajan said economy is going to go down, we're going to nosedive, we're going to be around 4%, I think that's what he said. And today he hides. So point being that the US and Europe investment into India shot up by 65 billion, whereas investments to China fell below 20 billion. We must always compare India and China. We must also please understand that we are leading in mobile manufacturing. We've seen a 40% increase in mobile manufacturing when compared to the earlier year. We must talk about sectors like defense.
Not manufacturing, assembling.
Sir, you know, the problem with you is you are unwilling to acknowledge anything that's good that's happening. So you are not Rahul Gandhi. And by the grace of God, you never will be like that. You are an intellectual. Point is, sir, that our PLI scheme has been a game changer. You know that.
It's been a disaster. It's been a
See,
disaster.
I am saying you know, I know. Okay, I don't know as much as you know. But I can certainly tell you Rahul Gandhi knows nothing. And that is the problem. When you go extempore, take Santosh Mehrotra with you. Take a written script from Santosh Mehrotra. At least you won't do what you are doing on a public platform. You can't talk like that.
You know about manufacturing.
You can't talk like that. I mean, you so much ignorance.
Opposition cannot talk like that. But the Prime Minister of India can tell wind scientists how to create water out of the wind using a windmill, how to create a methane gas plant by...
No, you have to go prepared. Tuin is on the debate.
But Rahul Gandhi is not allowed to talk about the important issues of manufacturing and what is...
First of all, I think that, you know...
the unemployment problem in India is one of the most severe problems. The BJP has faced the brunt of those problems.
I tell you this, that you have to...
My name is Tuin, Mr. Jain.
No. To admit that there is a problem in the country.
Tuin, the problem is with Rahul Gandhi, not with the country. The problem is with your leader, not with the country. Country is fine.
Arnab, and it's a very,
and the people have
Arnab, it's a very important issue, and I would expect 90 minutes of silence instead of Mr.
90 seconds, I think.
90 minutes of silence.
Yes, 90 seconds of absolute silence. Arnab, you know, at a time, please understand the importance of or the magnitude of what the notoriety that Rahul Gandhi is enacting. You know, at a time when Prime Minister Modi is going all out to pitch India as a global semiconductor manufacturing hub and for India to emerge as an alternative supply chain for the world, any Indian who roots for China and especially on foreign soil is fundamentally anti-national by character. And has Rahul Gandhi done it for the first time? Has Rahul Gandhi done it for the first time? I will give you another glaring instance. One day before, you know, the announcement of India, Middle East, European corridor at the finale of G20, where was he? He was in Brussels singing praises of OBOR, One Belt, One Road of China. And he would say that India doesn't have an alternative. So he's a repeat offender. But let me specifically point out what is at stake over here. A total of cumulative 1.5 lakh crore investment which has gone up into multiple semiconductor manufacturing hubs which are likely to produce 7 crore chips per day. What is going to be the estimated size of the semiconductor industry in the next 2 decades? $300 billion. What is the estimated size of the space sector industry, which by the way was in a dormant shape 10 years ago? $100 billion in the next 10 years. In defense, India has emerged as a complete powerhouse. The kind of order books, please don't have some courtesy. Don't be an anti-national like Rahul Gandhi. You know, if you look at the
so the moment you speak against the person from the BJP, you become an anti-national. That is the problem to him. That is the problem. That is sensible person
if you barge in like this, if you behave in an uncouth fashion,
Tuin is on the debate. Tuin versus Santosh Mehrotra. Santosh Mehrotra on the right. The debate is hot tonight on Rahul for China. Santosh on the right.
Always do. You know, companies like BEL and HAL have some of the biggest defense order books across the globe. And of course, like you mentioned, the mobile phone manufacturing, India is leading on that front. So imagine what is at stake. The potential of India emerging as an alternative supply chain for the world, and Rahul Gandhi wants to destroy that possibility through constantly rooting for China, and that is what makes his act very insidious.
I want to point one thing, apart from this glaring, appalling comment out here which has been made on China, viewers, some other things I'm asking you, do you believe Rahul Gandhi needs a written script? In my view, it may be a better thing, because you see, you see, I'll tell you this. I'm making no personal comment, but you see, by the age of 55, 56, most people, men or women, you have either got domain expertise, or you've got academic qualifications, or you've got a considerable amount of reading, or you have gathered a fair amount of life experience, which cannot happen if you are taken on a picnic by Jairam Ramesh. It has to happen through work, hard work, career. People work from the age of 20, 21, they build up a career profile. How do you think Santosh Mehrotra has become Santosh? He's studied, he's got a PhD, he's worked hard, he's achieved something on his own. And he must, it's the most unfortunate position that he has to defend a dynasty today. But I would still say this, that when you say GST is designed against production, I mean, Santosh Mehrotra, you're going to United States of America and says, GST is Gabbar Singh tax, it's designed against production. You passed it in parliament. It's madness. And then you go and say that India has a skill respect problem. What do you mean by India has a skill respect problem? Those women scientists at ISRO, who are at the heart of our space missions, you are saying we don't respect them? How dare you speak that language? No, you've done this. No, my point is, and then you've said, oh, these RSS, BJP people, one minute. I'll tell you the comment made. This RSS, BJP people, they want women to only cook and stay in the kitchen and stay at home. Is Sushma Swaraj not from an RSS background? You disrespect Indian women. You say, for you, is Sushma Swaraj not from an RSS BJP background? Did she only cook and stay at home? What kind of comments are these?
Is a woman and in the BJP government.
Appalling comments that he has been making.
Absolutely preposterous. Arnab, and my point is, does he have any moral right to speak on issues of women, on women's issues, when his hypocrisy stands exposed? Just last month, a leader of Congress, a woman leader of Congress in Kerala was suspended. Why? Because she made some scathing Me Too allegations against the Kerala Congress Party. You remember Dr. Ankita Datta from Assam Youth Congress, who was sacked from the party when she leveled Me Too charges against B.V. Srinivas. So this is the reality of Rahul Gandhi. He has no business to talk about women's issues.
No, the other point is also, Nikhil, the other point I want to go to Santosh Mehrotra. You see, the point is, you are basically doing everything possible to bring down India's brand image and bring up China's brand image. Now, Santosh Mehrotra ji, you are a well-traveled man. I'm sure you've heard of the report by the well-known US market research firm, which said it took 500 top executive level managers in the US surveyed by the UK market research firm, and they said that given a choice, we will prefer India over China if both these countries manufacture the same item from the same materials. And 56% of the people preferred India to serve their supply chain needs within the next 5 years. That's the kind of respect we have today. We don't need Rahul Gandhi say, India is useless, we don't know how to manufacture, we have a skill respect problem, women are made to cook. No. See, this is not going to work. Santosh Mehrotra, please. Santosh, I gave you the example, Santosh Mehrotra, of the market research firm which showed India's growing brand image in terms of manufacturing. I'd like a specific response from you.
See, Arnab, forgive me. Arnab, there's no question that the brand image of India has grown. But we must be realistic about our assessment, both in respect of the size of our market and as well as about how much of the foreign companies that were invested in China and are exiting from there, and they've been exiting from there for the last 8 or 10 years. But where have they been going? A very small proportion has come to India. I welcome the fact that Foxconn has come here. However, the point still remains that most of the exiting firms are still going to Vietnam, to Cambodia, Bangladesh, Southeast Asia. Very few are coming to India. India still
Rahul doesn't know
logistical costs. Sun lo, yaar, puri baat sun lo.
But you know the textile firms have fled from Bangladesh to India in the last 2 weeks.
Make a point, please.
Are 2 weeks na, but they are beating us hollow on textiles and garments. Come on, let's get the facts on the table.
Mr. Mehrotra, just one point.
Their garments export size is much larger. Their average factory is of the size of 4,000 to 5,000. I've been and visited them. I've done a study on them for the Bangladesh government. I know Bangladesh a little bit, my brother. Please try and appreciate what I'm trying to say. We need to put in a specific package for textile and garments so that we support these, because they have seen this is a labor-intensive sector. We can generate jobs. We desperately need more jobs in textiles and garments, as well as in leather and footwear, and in food processing and wood furniture. These are the 5 sectors which do manufacturing, and these are all, sectors which are exiting from China. We would love to have foreign They're not coming here.
Okay, Dr. Mehrotra, Tuhin has a rebut to you, sir, please. Tuhin.
I appreciate Dr. Mehrotra's calm down tenor in which he raises some concerns. But point is, I am talking about the intent of Rahul Gandhi. If he has serious concerns, he needs to discuss it with policy holders within the country. He needs to have a dialogue with stakeholders over here. When you go to America, and this is not the first time he has undermined India on foreign soil, whether it is, about maligning our democracy, whether it is pulling out a Sikh gentleman and telling him that, listen, even Sikhs are unsafe in India, he has done everything to denigrate the image of India. And I think that is the important point over here. Well, that is something which Dr. Mehrotra should condemn on your show.
Yeah, I truly believe, I truly believe that if there is a problem with expression or communication in the absence of fact, a written script is extremely useful.